All right, today we're going to talk about something it's completely invisible, has no smell, and is incredibly dangerous. It's a threat that can creep into our homes when we are most comfortable and least expect it. We are talking about carbon monoxide, also known as the silent killer. I want you to picture this scene, as hard as it is. A family of six: a mom, a dad, their kids, even a baby in its crib. They're all found dead inside their own home. There are no signs of a struggle, no forced entry, nothing. For the first responders, it's a total and complete mystery. And when the cause of death was finally discovered, the whole story just became that much more heartbreaking. It was carbon monoxide poisoning. And here's the part that's just so tough to swallow: it was an entirely preventable tragedy. And that right there, that's why understanding this is so, so important. So you hear that term, the silent killer. It's a terrifying nickname, and honestly, it's completely earned. But what exactly is carbon monoxide? And why is it so deadly? Let's unmask it. Okay, so here's the core of the problem. Carbon monoxide, or CO for short, is a gas that gets made anytime you burn fuel. And the thing that makes it so dangerous, so insidious, is that you can't see it, you can't smell it, and you can't taste it. Your body has literally no built-in alarm system to warn you that you're breathing it in. So where does it come from? Well, you'd be surprised. The sources are everyday items that tons of us have in or around our homes. A faulty furnace is a huge one, but so are things like gas stoves, fireplaces. Even just running a car or a portable generator in a closed space like a garage can be a deadly mistake. Now, the risk isn't the same all year long. It really, really peaks in the winter. And when you stop and think about it, it makes total sense, right? Around November, we all start firing up our furnaces for the first time in months. We seal our windows and doors tight to keep the heat in, which means ventilation goes way down. And then you get a big snowfall, and suddenly crucial vents and exhaust pipes outside can get blocked, trapping that dangerous gas inside with you. All right, so we know what it is, and we know some of the common sources, but let's get into what it actually does inside your body. How does this invisible gas turn so lethal so fast? The answer really comes down to this one kind of staggering number: 200. Carbon monoxide latches onto the hemoglobin in your red blood cells more than 200 times more effectively than oxygen does. It's just a completely unfair fight for survival that's happening inside your own bloodstream. And this comparison just lays it all out so clearly. Look, on the left, that's how it's supposed to work. Hemoglobin grabs oxygen and delivers it to your brain, your organs, everywhere. It's what keeps you alive. But on the right, when CO is in the air, it completely hijacks that system. It kicks oxygen out of the way. Your blood goes from being a delivery system for life to a delivery system for a poison that literally starves your body of oxygen. You are suffocating from the inside out. So, since our senses are totally useless here, we have to learn to recognize the alarm bells our own bodies are ringing. Knowing the symptoms is not just important, it's absolutely critical. And this is what makes it so, so tricky. The first signs of mild poisoning look almost exactly like the flu. You get a headache, you feel a little dizzy, nauseous, maybe some tightness in your chest. It is incredibly easy to just brush this off, think you're just getting a bug. And that mistake can be a fatal one. But, and this is a huge but, here is the single biggest red flag that separates CO poisoning from the flu. A virus, it usually picks off family members one by one over a few days. Carbon monoxide often makes everyone in the house feel sick at roughly the same time. If your whole family suddenly gets the flu all at once, that should be a massive warning sign. Now, if you do suspect CO poisoning and you get to a hospital, they can figure it out pretty quickly. They'll do a simple blood test that measures just how much of your blood's oxygen carrying capacity has been taken over by CO, and treatment starts right away. They'll give you 100% pure oxygen to basically flood your system and help push that carbon monoxide out. Okay, we've talked about the danger, we've talked about the science. Now for the most important part. Let's talk about how you build a shield, how you protect yourself and the people you love. Here is your action plan. It really boils down to 3 simple, straightforward steps. First up, service. Get your furnace and any other heating systems checked out by a professional every single year, ideally before the cold weather hits. This is not a DIY job. Second, clear. Get in the habit of making sure all your vents for the dryer, the furnace, the fireplace are clear of any blockages like snow, leaves, you name it. And third, and this is the absolute non-negotiable one, install. Put carbon monoxide monitors on every single level of your home, and especially near any sleeping areas. Think of it as your silent guardian. It's the only real alarm system you have against the silent killer. So we'll end with this. That story about the family of 6, it's a terrible tragedy, but it's also a powerful, powerful warning for the rest of us. The steps to stop this from happening are simple, they're not expensive, and they absolutely save lives. So the only real question left to ask is the one right here on the screen. And don't just think about it. Please, act on it.